There's the camera up there. That's what we need to look at. It's a really, really good, simple, tasty recipe, and it's so fresh and fragrant. You can make a curry from scratch at home in about 20-25 minutes. It's fantastic. So how is everyone? All right? Yeah? All good? Okay. So there's a little bit of a delay there on the chat, I think, and on the stream, but that's fine. Right. So, who likes curry? Do you like curry? Doing well. Fantastic. All right. I think there's a little bit of a lag between when I ask things and the replies coming through. That's fine. We can work with that. No problem at all. Hey, Lizzie. How you doing? Lovely to see you again. Thanks so much for coming to the last chat. Tonight, Lizzie, we're going to be cooking a curry from scratch and doing a few more questions and answers as well. Yeah, Emily, that's awesome. I'm glad that you like a curry. Curry time. Okay, thanks, Pam. I really appreciate that. So, tonight I'm going to be doing, as I said, a really, really nice curry. So thanks, first of all. Welcome to British Cook. Thank you so much for all being here. Really appreciate that. It's lovely to see everyone. Tonight's curry is going to be really simple, really quick and really easy. I'm joking, obviously. Curries from a jar have curries from a jar. I've lost my ability to speak already. 8 minutes in, that's not good. Curries from a jar have a place and a time. Not for me, and certainly not this evening. What we're going to be doing is a fragrant curry where we fry up the spices, make a paste or a paste out of onion, combine it all into a frying pan. It's a one-pot curry, basically. Hi, Catherine. Fantastic to see you here. Thank you so much for coming. Brilliant. Nicholas, I'm not really going to be talking about politics tonight. It's not really my place. I do cooking and I love cooking. So that's not really what my channel's about. But yeah, so really what I'm going to be doing is a lot of cooking and a fair bit of talking. You have to bear with me because I'm not used to using camera this way and for filming food as well. So it should be quite interesting actually. All right, so ingredients for the curry. I'm going to sit here and just read these out because there's quite a few ingredients and I can guarantee you if I tried to remember them all, I'd get it wrong or I'd say it wrong because I think there's about 13 or 14 ingredients. Hi Helen, hi Jake and Morgan and Holly, fantastic. So yeah, that's basically it. 1 second, Helen. So yeah. Thank you so much for coming to Switzerland. Really, really appreciate that. We can say goodbye to that chap as well for a minute. So it's lovely to see you as well. Thank you so much. I'm amazed that you all sat here watching me. It's brilliant. So tonight's curry, as I said, it's going to be a fragrant, easy to cook at home curry. I'm going to stop repeating myself quite shortly because people are starting to turn up. Ingredients. Okay. So I've written all the ingredients down because I think I'd probably forget them if I tried reading them all out of the back of my head or get the amounts wrong. So bear with me a minute while I read these all out to you. Okay, you want chicken thighs. I always cook with chicken thighs because they're nice and moist. They're quite cheap to buy. And once you've removed the meat from the chicken thigh, you can then use the bones and the skin to roast down and cook into a stock. And I always do that. Always make a delicious chicken soup after this or a bit of chicken stock. So you want about 8 chicken thighs, which is about 800 grams of actual meat. Probably about a kilo with the bones in. You want 1 large yellow onion and you want 400 grams of canned tomatoes as well. You want 6 garlic cloves because garlic's good, right? Catherine, it should feed about 4 people, 4 hungry people. Potentially a few more if you're going to put naan breads and rice in with it as well. Any kind of questions any of you have got, just ask me because I can just stop and talk. It's no problem at all. When you type to me, it comes up on there. So we've got a good 6 cloves of garlic in there. We've got 50 grams of ginger. Now, I know some people don't like ginger, but it gives it a really nice taste. It doesn't make it gingery. It's really worth adding in there. We've then got 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil or ghee. Yeah, Emily, yellow onion is just normal bog standard British onion as we get them in the shops. I'm saying yellow because sometimes I get a lot of people from Canada and America and they have white onions, yellow onions and red onions, they call them differently, but so that's what that is. We've got 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. We've got 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds, 1 cinnamon stick about 5 centimeters long, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of caster sugar, and 250 mils of chicken stock, and some coriander as well for garnishing. So what I'm going to do is just pick this up a second and start to see if I can move you over to where I'm actually going to be cooking. 2 seconds. Let's just have a quick look on here. Hang on a minute. Okay, so what we need to do is pop you over. But just to tell you a little bit about curry. Wow, that's not good, is it? About curry. Let's see if I can rotate this a minute. I'll take this with me as well. As you can see, I'm a little bit of an amateur with the old live stream stick. I'm quite used to cooking, but I'm not so used to this. Okay, let's see if I can rotate this a minute. Okay, that's not focusing very well yet. So, as you can see, what we've got here ingredient-wise, we're going to be making a curry. So what we've got here, we've got chili seeds, we've got coriander, we've got fennel seeds, we've got oil. Hi Suzanne, fantastic to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm amazed at so many people here, it's great. We've got some turmeric and we've got some garam masala. And at the back there we've got some caster sugar and the garlic and the cloves there. And obviously standard onion as well. So just for the purposes of when I actually do this next, I'm going to read it out. Actually I won't, that's fine. So obviously, with it being a bit of a live stream, and with live streams technically always going wrong, what I've done is I've prepared a little bit of it in advance as well. But I'll be talking you through exactly what you need to do with it to get it to go. So what you want to do is with your onion, you need to roughly chop that. So just skin it and roughly chop it. And then when you've got it roughly chopped, you want to get into a food processor. And you want to blitz it until it looks a little bit like this. Can you see that? Could someone just say hello? I'm just like someone lost the feed again. Fantastic. Hi Emily, thanks. Yeah, I keep losing the stream tonight, unfortunately. So it's been a bit of a glitchy one, unfortunately. Did you all see the recipe ingredients that I went through? So what I've done is I've just gone through these quickly. I'm not sure, that must have come through actually, thinking about. And what I'm going to be doing is basically just cooking up for you and showing how I do it. Okay, thanks Pam, I really appreciate that. So it keeps flickering as if it's disconnected. It's going from red to orange. Lizzie, good to see you, fantastic. So as I said, any questions you've got as you go along, please ask me and I'll answer them for you. I'm doing this by hand, so it's good. Okay, fantastic. Right, so what I've done here is I've got the 400 grams, not 400 grams, I've got the chicken breasts, which I chopped up, and I've taken it off the bone, and here I've got the bone and the skin, which I'll be keeping to roast up. I'll be roasting that in the oven separately and making a stock out of that. So if I just put that to one side for a minute, and if I bring you over here, all these different spices will be, what we're going to be doing is pan frying the spices to release the flavours. And just talking about curries a bit, in England we love curries. I'm going to wash my chickeny hand 1 second. Excuse me. In England we've been eating curries for hundreds of years. It's actually a bit of a love affair, to be honest with you. And this is how the curry idea came up, because the other night in chat we were talking about curries and people said that curry was like a really popular thing in the UK. There's actually poems from the 1740s that mention curry. So, you know, that's amazing if you think about it. 1740, they were writing poems about curries in this country. So that's really, really cool. The first, please let me know if you lose the audio. The first curry, first actual curry or Indian restaurant was opened in London in 1809, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is grab the onion, roughly chop it, and then you're going to want to puree or blitz it until it looks like this. Is that better? Can you see better underneath that light? Then what you're going to do as you blitz it is you're going to want to add a couple of tablespoons of water to it just to loosen up a little bit. If it's quite moist anyway, don't worry about it too much. Then what you're going to want to do is grab your garlic, which is, we're going to use 6 cloves of garlic if you remember. So 6 cloves of garlic, and you want 50 grams of ginger. You need to obviously peel the ginger and grate it, or you can peel it and chop it into the blender. So 50 grams of ginger, that needs to go into the processor, and that's going to come out looking like this, all chopped nice and fine. So you want to make sure, or you can do it by hand as well if you want to. Yeah, 6 cloves of garlic is good for your health. It's also, I don't know how antisocial it is, but I quite like garlic, so it's one of those things. Right, so what we're going to be doing is doing down that, we crushed it. First things first, over to the frying pan. I'm going to get that one set up this way. I need to be able to try and hold this and also cook. So you need to get it onto a medium heat. Let's see if I can get this. 1 second. See if we can just get this set up a minute so you can see what I'm doing. So you want to get that frying pan onto a medium heat. So don't put any oil in it yet. Get up to a nice sort of medium heat. I'm going to keep popping my head around this, seeing if anyone's brilliant. You can see from there, can you? That's good. That's really good. So bring the frying pan up to a medium heat, and then what we're going to do is fry these spices. Not quite there yet. This is the beauty of a live stream. You see, when you do videos of cooking, you can make it look so quick and easy. But when it comes to live stream, it's a little bit different, a little bit more complicated, but it'll be good fun, and that's why I want to do this tonight. I'm so pleased that so many of you are here. Thank you so much for that. It means an awful lot to me. My first part of the live stream, I was pretty convinced I was talking to no one, so it's lovely to know people were there. Any questions, as I said, just pop them on the chat, and what I'll do is I'll have a look every so often and see what's on the screen there as I cook. So that's getting up to a nice sort of heat. We've got a medium heat. I'm going to pop in first of all the oil. I've used vegetable oil there. You can use ghee, would be ideal actually. Clarified butter, ghee, or sunflower oil, whatever your sort of preferred cooking oil is. I would not use any kind of olive oil for Indian food. Just doesn't seem to sit right with it. So vegetable oil will probably be the best option. Ghee or clarified butter, which is the same thing essentially. Hey doctor, how you doing? You right? So I'm just I'm hopping between the angle of the cooking and the chat. How you doing? Really good to see you, my friend. Yeah, coconut milk oil is a really, really good idea as well. Definitely. I mean, with curries, I don't know why I missed it out, because last curry I did actually use coconut oil. So we're going to get that to nice high heat, and what we'll do, pop in the seeds first of all. So that's a fennel seeds. That's the cumin seeds. And if you want, I'll go through it all again with the ingredient list in a minute. The chilli as well. Turn it down a little touch. Just going to fry those. To bear with me with my angle. I'll check this out in a second. Fry these for about a minute or so, just to get those flavours and just get those flavours out there. If it looks a little bit awkward, it's probably because I haven't really thought this through before I've done it, and I haven't set the camera up correctly. But so just fry those spices, and that's starting to smell really, really nice. Okay. Actually, Catherine, yeah, I did actually. I wouldn't say I grew up eating curry in Cornwall. I've certainly ate a lot of curry in my time. It's not a local dish as such. Curry is a dish that's been around for a long time. And as you start to fry it, you'll notice that the seeds just gently turn to a brown colour, and the flavour and the spice comes out into the oil. And that's just where you want it for the next stage. And what we'll do next, so we've done all that. Pop the cinnamon in as well. Want to get a cinnamon stick in there. Sounds a bit strange, I know. Normally you would put it in separately. So I'm just trying to see what we've got in the chat here. No, to be honest with you, Catherine, I didn't really grow up eating loads of curry, but it's very popular in England as a whole. It's not like it's not so much a thing that only one person or two people eat. It's generally quite a complicated thing. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so we've got the herbs, the spices there are just starting to brown off. So what we want to do, excuse me a moment, is get that pureed ginger in, and it will make a bit of noise. Excuse me. So get that onion in there, and I'm going to pop back to chat a second, see what's going on there. Emily, I completely feel your pain. I'm working on electric most of the time at home. Yeah, Liz, you're right. The British curry is basically like almost a national dish now, to be honest with you. It's really, really popular. I think the most popular curry there is a chicken tikka masala. We're talking about this other night. We're talking about British food. Obviously, you've got the traditional stuff of roast beef and things like that as well. I hope you can all hear me. Can you all hear me all right? It smells amazing, Helen. It smells absolutely amazing. That's just starting to cook there. Then what we want to do is add the ginger and the garlic. And what I'll do in a second, once I've done this, is and got it on the thing, is I'll go back through the ingredients again as well. Okay. Lost my spatula. So, as I said, I do apologise if this looks like a strange angle. It is a little tiny bit awkward, but I want to make sure you can actually see what I'm doing on camera. Just basically allowing that to cool down a little bit, cooking it, and what we're going to be doing is cooking this for 7 or 8 minutes until it goes to a sort of golden brown colour. We don't want the onions to lose too much moisture though, so we'll add a small dash of water, which really helps with the cooking process and caramelisation. In fact, I'll probably do that now because I'm about to go back to chat with you. It smells. So I'm just going to put 2 or 3 tablespoons of water in there. It smells absolutely amazing. And what that will help do is it will allow the onions long enough to cook to caramelise. So this is basically like a really simple curry paste. And this is where all your flavour comes from. You might hear me coughing a little bit. That's because the smell of the chilli, the garlic and everything else is quite a strong smell. It's filling the house, it's filling the kitchen with a delicious, lovely smell. So, I'm going to pop that there for a minute. Just put that on there, and what I'm going to do is pop back into chat. Okay. Okay, so everyone can hear me, that's fantastic. Emily, it doesn't take that long, excuse me. It is quite a potent thing to cook. I would normally have the extractor fan on because of the chili and the onion and stuff like that, but because I'm talking to you guys, I can't. If I have a takeaway, what's my go-to dish? To be honest, it's probably mud bikini with some chili in it. It sounds really strange, a sort of mango and sort of mango and sweet sort of curry, but I like hot chilies chucked in it, so I like almost like a creamy base with hot chilies chucked in it. It's very strange. I like all the normal stuff. I did go through a stage of eating the extreme sort of stuff, the vindaloos, the fowls, things like that, but I've sort of gone off that a little bit, and I tend to prefer things with more flavour. I do like a lot of Balties, Rogan Josh, stuff like that. You know, it just, I mean, I spent a lot of time, so I spent quite a lot of time eating stuff in Indian restaurants, just sort of growing up and going out with friends and stuff like that. I think it's a very common thing in Britain to do, actually. Okay, so just having a look at these messages. So who have we got here then? We've got, at the moment, we've got Emily Helen, we've got Dr. Stoneberg, brilliant to see you. We've got Catherine Kaufman, we've got Old Mill Dogs, Coconut Oil, lovely jubbly, and we've got Lizzie. Lizzie, so good to see you. So Lizzie says that she normally makes Cornwall masala curries. Yeah, again, this curry base, I forgot to say that, this curry base can be used for vegan or vegetarian curries because it literally is just a spice and a base. There's no dairy in it, there's no meat in it. In fact, meat is one of the last things that we actually add to this. So, as you can see, there's still a few spices there, but we want to get this cooked off properly and let it brown before we start adding the other spices to it. We've got turmeric left, we've got garam masala, we've got sugar, but we don't want them yet, especially the sugar. If you put it in now, it's going to end up browning in a way you don't want. You want to bring the sort of natural sugars out of the onion. Let them combine with this. My mouth's watering, it's terrible. Hang on a second, let's see what we've got here. Suzanne says she loves lamb rogan Josh. Yeah, I like slashik as well. I can't really say it either. Lizzie, yeah, you could use ground cinnamon. I'd probably add it, if you're going to use ground cinnamon, at the time when I add these other spices here. That cinnamon stick, I would say is probably equivalent to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, sorry. I do have ground cinnamon, but you know, I always use sticks because they're easy to pull out at the end. So, I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Just finish off this process of browning these onions mixed with the fennel, the cumin, and the chili. And trust me when I say this already smells amazing. The garlic's in there, the ginger's in there. It's really giving off a lovely aroma. I wish, I don't mean this quite honestly, I wish you could actually smell this. I'm always saying that, but when I'm cooking, something I'm really passionate about is the smell of food and how good it is. Okay, yeah, what I'll be doing in a minute, see Lizzie, if you stay with me for the time I cook this will be about 15 minutes of cooking. What I'm going to do then is go to sort of question and answers, and I'll be going through the measurements again because I did repeat them a few times at the beginning, but I didn't want to bore people to death with it, so I got to the point where I thought I'd better actually start cooking because that's what you're here for, to watch a curry being cooked, and because you're very nice people, and you know, it's lovely to have a bit of supporters and friends and people on my live chat, so I really appreciate that. Okay, so that's pretty much where I want it to be. It's not going to change colour an awful lot more than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in the turmeric and the garam masala and the sugar as well. Turmeric goes in. That is 1 tablespoon of I'll tell you what, I'll do the measurements afterwards because I've got tablespoons and teaspoons in here, and it'd be unfair of me to give them out just randomly and get it a little bit wrong. Turmeric goes in. It's going to change it a bit of a strange colour. That's what we want there. Then we're going to pop in the garam masala and this is really giving off some amazing smells. I know it probably doesn't look amazing, but trust me, this paste can be used for anything Indian. So if you're going to make yourself a vegetarian curry, or if you're going to use it to make a vegan curry, you can do exactly the same, because there's no dairy in it, there's no meat. It's just a lovely way to get that Indian really going. And then I'm going to pop the sugar in as well. Okay. Give that a quick stir. And really, I don't know if you know much about cooking, but we often use sugar to really bring out the flavour of tomatoes. And that's why we're adding the sugar now. Because the next thing that goes in is, let me just show you this, 400 grams of chopped tomatoes. And tinned tomatoes are fine for this, they work perfectly. So, I'm going to pop those in there and stir it around. Down there. Now, I guess conventionally you'd think you'd probably put the chicken in first, but because we're going to be cooking this for a little bit longer, the chicken actually goes in after you've done all this. And it's really about having that paste, I suppose the paste and the combination in a way that it just almost sticks to the chicken when you put it straight in there. So let's see if you can see that a little bit closer. If I bring it up, can you see? So you can see in there, like the fennel, you can actually see the herbs, the spices, and the tomato, and it smells absolutely gorgeous. Let's pop that one back in the ring. And what I'm going to do now is actually, it's going to take about, let's add a tiny dash of water to that. Just going to add a tiny dash of water to that, let it cook down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over here and read out the ingredients, because I've been asked about that. That is a large frying pan. It's quite a large hob, but it is a 32 centimetre frying pan. It's quite a big hob, and it's really quite a big frying pan. Well, for UK standards anyway, it probably isn't for America. It's probably like a normal one, but over here it's quite a big one. Let's just get, why is that doing that? Is it? Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to read out the ingredients quickly. Excuse me. The ingredients are about 8 chicken thighs, which is about 800 grams of chicken thigh. What you want to do with the chicken thighs, you want to skin it, or take the skin off the chicken thigh, and chop it up. So you want it bone off, basically. Obviously you can buy them from shops with bone off if you want to. Turn that down a second. Then you need 400 grams of chopped tomatoes, 6 garlic cloves, 50 grams of ginger, and you want also 1 large onion. And with the large onion and the ginger, you want to blend those two in a blender. I showed it earlier on, but I've mixed it in now. So get the onion, skin it, chop it into large chunks, and then blend it almost into a puree. And you can do that by adding a couple of tablespoons of water to it as well. So mix you chop and blend the onion, and then also you want to get the ginger, 50 grams of ginger, and you want to do the same with that. You want to chop the ginger and the garlic and mix them together. Spice wise, you've got the 50 grams of ginger, you've got 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of fennel seed, you've got 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1 teaspoon of caster sugar. And you've also got the cinnamon stick in there as well. And to finish off as well, you've got 2 tablespoons of chopped coriander. Brilliant. Thank you, Catherine. Lovely to see you here. Thanks so much for coming. So, leave that to cook for a little bit. And just chat to you in chat. Well, who have we got here? So, who is actually here at the moment? Me, Lizzie. Fantastic. Chris. Hi, Chris. Good to see you, mate. Chris has got Chris loves doing his own cooking and showed me curry last night actually. Chris, I don't use Greek yogurt in Indian. I would tend to use something like coconut milk, coconut powder, cream. You can use yogurt, I think. Some do. Yogurt can help with marinating the meat and tenderising it. Some recipes do use it. The smell coming off this is absolutely amazing. It's brilliant. Just pick these bits up a minute. So we've got in chat still Lizzie, Suzanne, Emily, and Chris as well. Oh, that's weird. It's only showing like 2 people. Okay, fantastic. So thank you so much again for just actually being here and just talking to me, and for being my friends, supporters, and everything else. I really, really appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, so thank you so much. Lizzie, I would normally have an extractor fan on. Those spices are getting to my throat, you're right. But it's one of those things, unfortunately. I'll bear with it and I'll be okay. I would say that normally I'd probably have an extractor fan on, but because I'm videoing, I can't really do that with talking as well. So it's very kind of you, but I'll probably leave it how it is. It smells lovely. I just need to avoid inhaling too much over the top of it. So that's cooking down quite nicely. Just going to give that a quick move around. And if you can see, let's just see if we can get this up a minute. The tomatoes and stuff are softening up quite nicely there, and the spices and the herbs are there, the onions caramelised as well. So what I'm going to do now is, and this sounds a bit strange, I'm going to put, oh, excuse me. Yeah, coconut milk or Greek yogurt is good, Chris. I mean, either work, mate, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea, to be honest with you, Lizzie, but I'm going to give it a miss for a minute. So what you want to do now, and this is the back to front bit. Chicken thigh, it's all diced up, okay? I'm going to put the chicken thigh in there and just cook it. Now, every part of my normal cooking routine would mean brown the meat first. Brown the meat first and then add the spices. But trust me, this is worth doing this way because it completely, the chicken just absorbs the flavours. And what we're going to be doing shortly is adding some chicken stock to this as well. Just need to turn up a little bit. So I'd probably say, being honest, if you had naan breads or rice for this, it would probably feed four to six people, probably close to 6 to be honest, when you've got a full Indian on the go. As you can see, that's sticking so well to the chicken. But as I said, if this was any sort of other dish, I would probably normally brown the meat first. But this works so well, it's just not worth changing it. It's such a brilliant recipe. And this is sort of, as well, what my dad's basically cooks as a curry. So I have sort of borrowed it off him a little bit. And yeah, but that's cool. Just turn that heat back up a little bit. And what I'll be doing, as I said, after this is I'll be doing a chat through. So any sort of questions you've got at all, I want to make sure I don't miss anything at all. I can answer for you then in a few minutes. Suzanne, she just needs to come to my British Cook page on the link and then just click play on the video. That'll bring her into live chat. Sorry, I can't see Facebook at the moment because of the way I've got things set up. Emily, I absolutely guarantee you can manage it. I've seen the stuff that you can do a long time back. Absolutely amazing. You're always making brilliant cakes for your kids and doing really, really good things. So it'd be really nice to know, that people are giving it a try. This smells absolutely amazing. It's like being in a curry house because, you just can't compare this sort of fragrant, fresh cooking to what you get in a jar. It's a million miles away, and this is taking me a little bit longer because I'm stopping to talk and stuff, but really it's a really quick way to cook. And you can see the colour already of that chicken changing. As I said, I might seem a little bit awkward with the old cooking influence, but that's because I haven't really thought through how I was going to cook it. This is a spur of the moment decision, but I'm loving it, and I love cooking curry. As I said in the live chat last time, I'm always cooking, always cooking, but hardly ever recording. So I thought, well, I'll just give this a go and try it live. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. It's going to be delicious food, and hopefully I can share a few tips and ideas with you as well. So the live chat, you have to scroll down to get to. If you're on a mobile, you'd have to scroll down a little bit, and the actual video, though, live stream, is just go onto my main page, British Cook, and then just click play on live. Just click play, the play button on the video, and it will eventually go to live. So if you see the rectangular picture there, all she needs to do is click the play button, and the live stream will start. If you want to get into chat, if anyone's interested in chatting that's not in chat already, just scroll down on your mobile or on your laptop, and you'll see either a live chat screen if you're on desktop or if you're on a laptop, you'll see a live chat screen on the right hand side, and if you're on mobile, you just need to scroll down, expand the bit that says live chat. I absolutely love Indian and Tex-Mex, Chris. It's one of my favourite things to cook. Really is. A couple Christmases ago, I was lucky enough to have my amazing family over, my sister, nephew, nieces, and I cooked Tex-Mex, big 9-foot long table full of stuff for about, I think, 10 of us, which really enjoyed doing. I absolutely love Tex-Mex. Again, it's a lovely sort of taste. Yeah, that's true, Lizzie. Lizzie, have you seen just out of interest, Lizzie, have you seen my bread baking video? Because in there is a really simple way to bake foolproof bread at home. It's really quick as well. So as you can see, within minutes, that chicken has taken on a really nice colour. And as I said before, you can make this as a vegetarian or vegan dish simply by adding your vegetables at this point rather than the chicken. So there's no need to make this a meat dish per se or a chicken curry. This is a perfect curry base for vegetables. Be warned though, if you're going to use just vegetables, it can be quite warm, quite spicy. So what we've done there is we've turned the heat up a little bit and just sealed the chicken in a little bit. So the chicken's nice and sealed on there. What I'm going to be doing in a minute is just adding some stock to there, some chicken stock that I made earlier. I've used organic stock cubes. It doesn't make a massive amount of difference what you use, but I just think the organic one seems to taste a little bit better. Not sure why, but they do. Yeah, Lizzie, definitely have a look at that how to bake bread video. It's on my videos. If you click on videos at the top, not right now, but later on, it's a brilliant recipe. So easy to do, and it always works. Chris, I don't know what either of those are. Oh, Posel isn't that chocolate with chili? Is that chocolate with chili? Hang on a second, let's have a quick look. Yeah, I did say earlier actually, Lizzie. I always buy chicken thighs on the bone because it takes 5 minutes to cut the meat off, and then what I tend to do is um, I cut the meat off, and then I get the bones and the skin. I chuck them in when I'm doing a roast anyway. So I put them underneath the roast, or if I'm baking something, and bake them so they go crispy. I take them out. I pour all the fat and all the bad stuff and the bones into a pan. I then add boiling water, an onion cut in half, a bit of celery, a bit of leek maybe, and just slow boil it and make a stock up. I always cook bones, pretty much. It's unusual for me to get rid of them because the stock tastes so good. But in this instance, I have just bought these today. I had a chicken soup a couple of days back actually, so that's why I haven't got any stock, but I'll just use a normal stock cube for those. Okay, yeah, Emily, it is really low fat. There's no cream or anything going into this. This is quite a, when I say it's quite a traditional sort of Indian dish, it's or British sort of Indian. It's more like a Rogan Josh, I guess, in the sense that it's got not as hot as a Rogan Josh, but it's got a lot of, more like a balti. It's got a tomato. It hasn't got any cream in it, so none at all. So we're literally going to be adding stock, and that'll pretty much be it in the cooking. Ah, Lizzie. Oh, I remember now. You said on chat the other day, didn't you? You said on chat that you're vegetarian. I'm sorry, yeah. Well, then, in your case, all you want to be doing is adding, basically, to make this curry, you want to be adding a vegetarian stock cube at this point. So we've got here, you know, obviously, as I said, you don't. This curry base will work with any vegetables. It won't require as much cooking, and also, obviously, you can also make it vegan. So I'm going to put the chicken stock into there. Just put a bit more in there. Just going to bring that up to you as well so you can have a bit of a close look at it. Can you see that? So put the chicken stock into there, and what we'll do now is simmer it on a low heat for probably about 8 or 10 minutes, and it'll be done pretty much by the time we do that. So what I'd love you to do, if you're okay to do it, is stay with me for this bit, and then any kind of questions or anything you want to ask about British food or curry or anything at all from tonight, just ask me that at the end. Let's see. Chris, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know what hominy is. I've heard of it, but I don't actually know what it is. So while we're here, if you want a bit of a laugh, earlier on there was an attempt at a naan bread. It's come out alright. It's a bit of a funny shape. There was an attempt at naan bread. What I'd love to do is show you how to make naan breads as well. I won't be doing it tonight, but yeah, if you're interested in naan breads, it does taste like a naan bread. It's risen a bit too much for a naan bread. But if you're interested in naan breads and that sort of style and texture of bread, I'll certainly show you how to make those. What I do is just, if I pull it open, you can see it's not exactly perfect, but it's got a lot of the aeration inside it that a naan does have. It just needs a bit more heat than I gave it in the oven. It also actually tastes, wow, it tastes really good. Sorry, I couldn't resist it. I'm terrible with bread. It tastes really, really nice. So just let that gently simmer away. Give it a stir. I mean, going back to what you're saying, Lizzie, when you're talking about spice and the smell of it, it is a very pungent smell because you're frying all this spice to start off with. But it's not unbearable. If I had normal cooking, I'd be just using the extractor fan or have the door open, because you're here. I don't want to do that because I don't think you'll be able to hear me. But it's lovely. It's a lovely smell, and it's not too hot. It's a really nice balanced curry, and it's so easy to make, and it's really quite cheap as well. Ingredient wise, I'd say maybe £4, maybe £5 maximum. Most of these ingredients most people have at home anyway. Stock cubes, onion, garlic. You know, you don't need to go and buy it necessarily for this dish. It's just you've already got it. Okay, right. So, so the vote is definitely in, and you definitely would like me to make homemade naan or onion bhajis. Sounds good. Also, as well, another thing, if you would like to go to Facebook and add yourself to the British Cook group, there's a group and a page. I tend to post more in the group because the page doesn't always get seen when it goes out on Facebook. So if you put British Cook in one word into Facebook, it should come up with the British Cook group. So I'm pretty sure most of you already subscribed anyway, which I really appreciate as well. Pakora, bhajis, yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, Lizzie, when you add the stock, it stops it from being such a strong smell. But as I said, it's not something that would normally bother anyone because you'd normally have an extractor fan on. It's not that bad. And to be honest, it's another way of, if you want to reduce that sort of smell when you're frying those herbs, which I wouldn't want to do because it smells amazing. You could put, say, half a teaspoon of chilli in to start off with, and then put the other half a teaspoon of chilli in later with the stock. Because I think some of those sort of fumes come from the chilli being fried really. Let's just have a quick look through here. Okay, so definitely sounds like I need to do a naan bread video and some sides as well for you. And also, I don't know if you're interested in learning how to do oven baked rice. I tend to do it like cloves and stuff in, cardamom seeds, that sort of thing. A really easy way to do rice in the oven. Might sound strange, but it comes out lovely and fluffy and actually keeps warm for a long time. Something you can almost make in advance. Not that you want to keep rice warm for a long period of time, but it's a safe way to do it rather than leaving it lukewarm. It's quite good. So, wow. I really wish I could. I really promise you, I wish I could offer you some of this food, you know, and let you taste it because it's going to be so good. Just going to turn that up for a little bit. Okay. Just going to have a quick read through the comments and see what we've got here or what I've missed, because there might be quite a few different things I've missed. Yeah, Chris, I love spicy stuff as well. Spicy, tasty, more about flavour. I mean, as I said, I used to love really hot Indians, the fowls and the vindaloos, but not so much anymore. I guess I must be getting older. But you know, they are really good, but I would have them now as part of another dish. Last big Indian sort of thing, cooking I did 4 different Indian style dishes like this and fed that to my family a while back. Okay. Hey Emma, how you doing? There's Emma and Emily. Brilliant to see you, Emma. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah, chili naan is pretty good. It's pretty easy as well, to be honest with you. Perhaps that's what I should do. I could do how to make naan bread, and I could do how to do a few different variations. I mean, obviously you can cheese stuff them, you can chili stuff them, garlic and coriander or peshwari. How does that sound? do you know, this is the first time I've ever in my life live streamed any kind of cooking, and it's so different to making a video. When you make a video, you're in complete control of when you start and finish the camera. But it's lovely. It's lovely to be able to talk to you all when I can actually cook. So I really, really enjoy it, and I really appreciate all of you being here. It means an awful lot to me. Just reading through these comments. Hi James. James Keats in the house. Fantastic to see you, buddy. Really pleased you're here. Pound says she's dated a Spanish guy. Paella. Yeah, lovely. Big paella pans are lovely. Okay. James. Right, so yeah, naan breads would be quite good. That's definitely on the agenda next time, I think. As I said, what I'm going to do is run through the ingredients for this in about 3 or 4 minutes time. Let's just finish off cooking. I'm just going to give it a little bit more heat to speed up the process, so you're not all sat here just looking at this bubbling away. Let's have a look here a minute. Does that look good to you or not? I'm trying to hold it still. It's probably not focusing because the steam's coming off it, but does that look good to you or not? Ooh. Trying to think actually, how many people in this chat room I've actually cooked for, because I know there's a few different friends I've got in here. I know I've cooked for 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 of you I think I've cooked for in the past at some point. May have been a long time ago, but I think I probably have. Yeah, Lizzie, if you add me on the Facebook groups or whatever, that's a brilliant way to get in touch. Yeah, Chris, you're right. We're talking about sort of traditional and historic British dishes the other night when you were on chat. Yeah, definitely shepherd's pie is very common. As we said, mutton itself, to get mutton can be a little bit more difficult. You can't so much get it in the shops. You can in London, not so much in Cornwall. You would need to go and ask a butcher or order it online. Generally speaking, you can't generally speaking buy mutton on its own in the shops. Not in Cornwall anyway. London you can buy it everywhere. You can buy goat, mutton, whatever you want really for a curry, but not so much down here unfortunately. So I'm still waiting to find out who I've actually cooked for here. Yeah, I would, James. So I've cooked for James before. Who else have I cooked for here? Probably I've cooked for Helen. Probably Emily and Emma at some point. Maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's good. So we're nearly done with this. What I'm going to do, in fact, is turn that down to a really low simmer. And let you all see my beautiful face again. Hang on a second. There you go. You missed me. Fantastic. We'll let that just simmer and I'll take you back over that way in a second. Because I feel like I made you sort of sit and look at one thing for a long, long time. That's not cool at all. Beef is Scotch pie. That's right, Lizzie. Yeah, it is. Let's have a quick look. Yes, James, I would count cooking big soup up with the... I can't talk, mate, sorry. I would count cooking big soups up on the moors with you as cooking. In fact, I think we were cooking rat packs, British Army rations, from what I remember. And yeah, I think that was good times. Good fun, definitely. So, okay, 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Alrighty then. So, okay, where are we? So this is the... Okay, I've got a few messages that I don't need to catch up on. Okay, right. So this is the naan bread, very small one that I made with it. Gonna do a recipe for that probably next few days. I'm not sure if you're getting notifications for the live chats or whether it's because you see it through Facebook. I'll probably do the naan bread sometime this week. Can't guarantee you that, but I'm more likely going to do that quite soon because it fits in with the curry. So what I'll probably try and do is find out different ways to make naan breads with chili, with cheese, chili and cheese, peshwari, and garlic and coriander, which is pretty self-explanatory, and give you a way you can do it at home. Because a lot of naan bread recipes don't really work in the conventional oven. You have to turn them up really, really high, which is fine, but yeah. Okay, so Lizzie, you got notifications, fantastic. And I'm guessing quite a few of you have come from Facebook, that's brilliant. Pam, what's your favourite sort of dish? Is there like a particular thing that you like up in Scotland? And I think, Suzanne, that is how you spell Peshwari. I'll be right back. Sorry, I just had to grab some water. So, this stuff, not so great. Not for cooking Indian. It's right when you need it, but that's pretty much it. What you want to be doing is try and cook a fresh curry. That's amazing. So ingredients. Who was asking for ingredients? Yeah, Pam, Peshwari is with coconut, honey. Sometimes you have sultanas in there as well. Chris, I'm so pleased you've come here again from America. It's brilliant to have you here. Chris has got some ancestry, I think, in the UK from what you're saying, from what I remember. And he's interested in British food. And so it's brilliant to have you here, mate. I really appreciate you being here. Let's have a look. Pam used to get fed curries at school. That's amazing. So yeah, the naan bread does taste like naan bread. It's just like a very small naan bread, right? Either I've got a very big head, very big hands, or that's a very small naan bread. They do come out like this. They crack and rise. Just needs a few more minutes underneath the grill, and that'd be perfect. Has anyone got any questions? Okay, I was going to read out the ingredients again, wasn't I? Sorry for everyone for keep going back over myself, but this is why I write it down, because chat is it's cool, it's great fun. I just need to remember what I'm actually doing. That's my terrible thing at the moment. Quite tired, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes. So the ingredients are I used 8 chicken thighs, which is I use them with the skin and bone. I'm going to use those separately for cooking as a stock. That's about 800 grams of chicken. You could basically, any supermarket size pack in the UK, if you buy a supermarket size pack of chicken thighs, that's enough. They all vary a little bit, a few hundred grams, but generally speaking, that's pretty much enough. I've got about 800 grams of actual meat in there. I think the skin, the chicken thighs themselves with the bone are about 1.2 kilos. 1 large onion. For my American friends, that's a yellow onion, not a white onion. Just a bog standard British onion. 6 garlic cloves. Then we've got 400 grams of chopped tomatoes, 50 grams of ginger, 4 tablespoons of vegetable. That's just for frying the spices with. We've got 250 mils of hot or chicken stock, organic chicken stock. And then we've got, spice-wise, we've got 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. I should know this, I've said it about 15 times tonight. 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of castor sugar, and that cinnamon stick as well. 2 secs. Right, let's go and let's look at this a minute. Should be nearly done. Okay, so I'm going to turn this camera around a minute. Move this over here. Give this a little stir. So as you can see, that's thickened up quite nicely. I mean, it depends how much liquid you like in your curry. I would probably now normally just take that off the heat and leave it sit there for 5 minutes or so. The tomatoes, the spices and everything's combined. The chicken will be lovely and tender. I love chicken thighs for curries because they're cheap, they're easy to use, and they're always tender. You can't go far wrong with chicken thigh. I know that chicken breast is seen as a more healthy option. I'm not so keen on that though. I've got a couple of questions there. Hang on a second, the chat's just disappeared. Okay, typical pizza could be anything at all you want, Chris. If it's a pizza, you can get it here. Chocolate marshmallow to anything. There's no kind of typical pizza. It's stuffed crust, hot dog crust, anything you want crust. Lizzie, chili seeds, it's just disappeared on me again. Chili seeds and chili flakes. Chili seeds are normally very hot compared to actual chili. So I'd probably stick to chili flakes if you want a sort of mild flavour. If I put chili seeds in this, pure chili seeds, it'd probably be a lot hotter. Some people like it like that. Certainly I would have a few years back, but not for me right now. Hang on a second. Pam, that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea, actually, Pam. Thanks for that. What else have we got in there? Chili seeds are better. Chili seeds are bitter. Yes, they can be, Helen. You're right. They can be really bitter. Depends very much on the chili. You can't always guarantee you're going to have hot chili seeds. Some are quite mild sometimes. Depends very much on the variety of chili. And in fact, some chili seeds would be really hot. So I'll probably stick to chili flakes. Chris, I've not actually had a curry pizza. I'm sure you can get them in London, absolutely certain. You can get doner kebab pizzas. You can get anything you want on a pizza, generally speaking. You know, I'd be surprised if you couldn't get something on a pizza somewhere. Yeah, Lizzie, please do that. I don't know if you have added me on Facebook yet. I did say the other day you're more than welcome to. For anyone that's here that isn't on my Facebook, I know Chris added me as well the other night, I think, which is great fun after having a long chat. So I really enjoyed that. Cool. Curry pizza. There you go. In fact, Chris, you ought to be asking Pam about food, because up in Scotland they have like literally deep fried anything, a bit like they do in America. Not always, but it's not a stereotype, that's the wrong word. It's something which they're quite well known for. So that's really good. Look at that. Brilliant, fantastic. Deep fried Mars bars, yeah, you do sometimes. Hang on a second. Where's my deep fried pizza? Are you kidding me? Yeah, James, if you join me at the beginning of the stream, you'll see that that's actually how you make this curry. You do fry the chili flakes. You do actually need to fry them. I would suggest if you're going to fry them to put the extractor fan on. I didn't because I was cooking. So you have deep fried pizza, Pam does, up in Scotland. Yeah, I mean, James, if you're going to fry chili flakes, it's not so much of a big deal. Just need to have the extractor fan on. So basically, it's starting to look like that. And welcome back, Lizzie. So could you just do me a big favour and let me know who's still here? Just say me too if you're here. Okay, so do I have screen broken on my phone? No, I've got chat on there, which is going through at the moment. It could be the steam coming off it. What do you mean by screen burn? Is it a strange picture? Is it out of focus? It could be the fact I'm just holding a camera. Normally when you video stuff, obviously using tripods, which is a lot smoother than what I've been doing this evening. In fact, 10 out of 10 to everyone who's managed to stick through this without taking motion sickness tablets. Okay. Brilliant. So actually we've got quite a few people still, although it's only showing 1 or 2. Weird. Okay, so we've got Chris here still, Emily, Lizzie, Suzanne, James, Pam. Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay. Strange. Now I don't have any burn that I'm aware of. I'll give the camera a quick wipe. It could be a bit of condensation from the cooking or a bit of steam. Is that any better? But so that's really how you can cook a really simple, quick and easy curry at home. Really, really nice. Really, really good. Let's go a sec. But I would suggest if you're going to cook that curry to turn on the extractor fan, because it's going to cause you a bit of a bit, not of a shock, but it will be quite interesting if you're breathing too deeply over it. Okay, Helen's still here. Fantastic. Is there any questions anyone wants to ask me at all? Chris, Lizzie, Emily, anything at all about cooking, about British cooking, if you're interested in that. 1 sec. Just going to write a few bits down about naan breads. We're going to be doing those, as I said, sometime this week, hopefully, if not on the weekend. Is the chat still working? I'm sorry, it seems so strange tonight. It's not like the other nights because I keep having the excuse me, the live icon keeps flashing, so I keep thinking I'm almost losing you on the chat. So that's why I keep asking. And certainly with my first stream I did this evening, that was exactly the problem, that we kept losing the live stream because of that. Okay, so Lizzie, I'm going to write this down a minute because last time I had all this brilliant chat and I didn't actually write down everything we talked about. I know we talked about doing the history of British food and a few things about the British fire, which I've got, which I'm editing at the moment. So naan breads sounds like an idea. Back to samosas. Lizzie's asked a question somewhere. I'd like to know how to make vegetable stock. Ah. They're not vegan. I had no idea about that. Okay, so that's a good question. I would like to know how to make. I don't know how to make stock cubes, but I certainly know how to make vegetable stock. I can do. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, Chris, it's a massive thing. I don't know if I said to you before. It's changed a lot. I mean, it used to be something that people ate 2 or 3 times a week, and they go to the chippy all the time. Nowadays, fish is quite expensive here. Relatively expensive anyway compared to what it used to be. So you see massive queues outside fish and chip shops every Friday night. Everywhere you go, there'll be a chip shop with a queue outside on a Friday or Saturday. But it's not so much a midweek or weekly meal, as far as I'm aware. It may be in different parts of the UK, but not so much down here. Suzanne, I'm so glad you can have a curry. I hope that I can do something with this video and make a bit of sense of it. So... you have cod haddock, you have Dover sole, you have pretty much everything, I think, most chippies, especially if you go to somewhere like Rick Stein's, or I think you can get an awful lot more, but I think most chippies down here, because they cater for a lot of, it's become a bit of a foodie place, Cornwall has, for fish. I mean, it's very well known because of what Rick Stein's done with the cooking down here with fish. So I think a lot of places do sell a lot of different fish dishes. We're surrounded by sea, Chris. Absolutely surrounded by sea. Britain's a little island, so it's all saltwater fish. I mean, you can get fish wise, you can get anything from sea bass all the way down to almost like dogfish style stuff, which most people just throw back in. Mackerel, haddock. Yeah, it's strange how it changed. Pam, I'm not sure why that is really. Why they have haddock more up there and cod more down here. Anyone that's here, like James Keat, if you are still around, or anyone that's been around from hang on a second, I'm just reading a sec. Sorry. Yeah, Place, Dover Sole. What's the other one? Lemon Sole, is it? I think it's quite popular as well. I don't eat a lot of fish. That's the honest truth of it. But I certainly do know there's an awful lot of fish, good fish down here. So, hang on a second. So, James, you've grown up a bit in Cornwall. You've been to a chippy a few times. Apart from my jumbo batter sausage, what sort of fish options do you think there are down here? Hang on a second. Double batter? Do you mean like triple cooked chips, that sort of thing? If I'm battering stuff, I always double batter it anyway. So if I was going to cook some chicken, like southern fried chicken, I would always at least do a wet dip twice at least, and then a dry rub with it. Or if I was going to do, I have done deep fried Mars bars before, just for a bit of experimentation. You get a frozen Mars bar and you batter it, you drop it in, you pull it back out with tongs, and then re-batter it, chuck it back in. You end up with a thick, crispy batter, which is quite nice. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Chris, you're from an amazing part of the world, really, for food, alligators, turtles, and stuff like that. Let's have a look. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, James, did you mean when you talk about double frying, are you talking about like triple cooked chips, or are you talking about battering techniques as well? Like tempura, or do you mean, like what types of batter you talking about? Like, obviously you can get thin batters, like the Japanese style ones, or you can get the more traditional stuff, like British dish, like toad in the hole. Yeah, I don't know what rock is, being honest. A bit of both. Yeah, that sounds quite cool. Okay, so James has mentioned about making double or triple fried stuff. So really what you're looking for, James, is a heart attack on a plate. I have just baked a brownie, that's about 2 foot long, if that interests anyone at all. I did video that as well, so I've got a giant brownie on the way that's got an awful lot of calories in it. That's going to be posted at some point soon. Excuse me. Yeah, keto batter. Yeah, I've heard about pork scratchings used as batter. I haven't actually tried it. I did do a lot of keto eating, but I never tend to batter stuff. I was just too lazy. Sounds terrible, but being honest, I just never felt it really worked as well as it did, because when you look at food, you have to understand sometimes food is being photographed in a way that's different to what reality it is. British food I wouldn't eat. Eels in jellied eels, I wouldn't eat that. Don't know why, it's a lovely traditional dish, but something about the fact it's got eels and jelly puts me off. I like jelly stuff. I like jelly. I like pork pies with gelatin in it, but let's have a look. But I wouldn't eat jellied eels. Haggis is fine. There's nothing wrong with haggis at all, really. I've asked it probably about 6-7 times over the years. Not a lot of it, but it's okay. It is what it is, and you can get some really good haggis up in Scotland. Nettle soup. Okay, so Lizzie likes nettle soup. The thing is about the foraging, I'd love to do that, Lizzie, as I said, about the weather in Cornwall at the moment is like really wet and dark and damp. So I'd love to be able to actually go out film finding things, like find something and then cook it. That'd be great. I really, really would enjoy doing that, and I would definitely do that, but it's not quite the weather for it yet at the moment. Pickled eggs. Suzanne's still here. Hi, Suzanne. Brilliant to hear from you. I love pickled eggs. Salt and pepper and pickled egg is absolutely amazing. Lizzie, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true that you can do that and that will happen. That's not uncommon at all. In fact, I've heard about people taping them up and all sorts of different things to try and stop them from biting when they've been deceased. Sounds awful, I know, it's terrible. So who have we got? We've got James is still here, that's brilliant. Lizzie, Emily. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone, really, for being here. It means an awful lot to me. Wow. Lizzie, that's quite amazing. I've never tried Chinese eggs. Are they like 1,000-year-old eggs? They're meant to be, or 100-year-old eggs. Have we got anyone here that... Hang on a second. Okay. Chris, Irish food's massively different to Scottish, British and Welsh food. They always have their own regional variations, and in fact Cornish food as well. I'm from a place called Cornwall, which is on the tip of England. It's on the tip of Great Britain, and basically I was born down here. I don't sound local, but I was, and I grew up down here. But yeah, so it does really vary, and there's a lot of variations of things, from everything in the English breakfast or British breakfast to different things. So, who we got here? Apologies, I'm just reading through the chat again. So, it seems that I'm getting no messages and then loads at once, so I am sorry about that and not answering people as soon as it comes up. Lizzie's been out eating insect snakes and chicken heads. Have you tried chicken hearts? I know a lot of Brazilian cooking in London has chicken hearts and different things as well. Suzanne, what is it you don't want to try? And Chris, I think that like Irish food is, I mean, they are similar, you know, in a way, but then they've all got their own variations of how they do things, and they're quite protective of how they do it. So, for example, I'm down in Cornwall. I wouldn't do a Scottish breakfast and call it a Cornish breakfast. That'd be a really bad idea. You know, English breakfast, it's all similar-ish. We're using the same sort of ingredients for a lot of the cooking. It's what we had available at the time. But yeah, so it is different. And that's right, a lot of that sort of food is potato-based. Yeah, when I've been to America, I went to America for not quite a while, but quite a long time in one period. The food there's amazing. I loved it. I couldn't get over the portion sizes. It's fantastic. But yeah, so as I said in the previous live stream, what I'm going to be doing is doing live streams probably 2 or 3 times a week, at least at the moment. So that's going to be really good. You have to bear with me because I'm learning as I go. I'm not a natural live streamer. So I have to sort of try and work the camera and stuff, and I'm not used to it, but I will get better, I promise you. So sorry, you know, it's been a bit long-winded, and thank you so much for bearing with me. Also, what I'm going to be doing is focusing on British food. My next video coming out is going to be about British cooking. It's going to be about the British fry-up and actually about the history of it, with a couple of sunsets and stuff. So it's going back to what I used to do with the funny sort of videos. Thank you, Suzanne. It's really kind of you. So that's the sort of thing I'll be doing. I'm amazed again. I'll say it again. I know a couple of you weren't here last couple of days ago. Absolutely blown away that I've flown through the amount of subscribers I've got now, and that really, you know, I'm getting a lot of attention on the videos, which is amazing. Which is why I started doing live streams. Yeah, I mean, Chris, that's quite interesting. I mean, you have those influences as well all over the UK from different backgrounds. Okay. And Lizzie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's a kind thing to say. So North America, you've got the Italian Hungarian down south. Yeah, I mean, I think as we spoke about the other night, Chris, really when people went to work or moved for different reasons, or left the country, going to go to America, going to go to Australia to start a new life, they took the customs and foods with them, and where they couldn't, and likewise when people came to the UK, from Jamaica, from China, they bring all these amazing foods with them, and that some foods are kept exactly the same, but a lot of foods are changed to what you can get locally. So, for example, it's quite hard to get a cut of a skirt for if you want to make Cornish pasties in France. Something random I just know because I was reading about it the other day. If you want to make Cornish pasties in France, it's quite easy to get most ingredients, but the steak, actual cut, the butchers don't tend to make that actual cut, so you have to use a different variation of cut, or I think it's a rump. It's part of the side of the rump that they often use. It's actually part of the rump, which is again flavourful. It's not skirt though, because when they go to the slaughterhouse, they cut it in a completely different way. I'm sure you can get it some places, but it's just things like that where you sort of changing things to what you can get locally. I think that's what's happened a lot of the time. Thank you so much for coming, Emily. Fantastic to see you. Please let me know if you try the curry. Thanks so much for coming as well. So both 16-year-old, fair enough with the cooking instant. Best of luck to you. Thanks so much, Emily. Really nice to see you as well. What else have we got here? So James has said that his partner's from Northern Ireland. They have an Ulster fry, which is like a fried breakfast, but with potato bread and fried soda bread. Not tried I have tried soda bread, but I haven't had it for a long time. So that's right, yeah, Lizzie. They are completely different cuts when you go. To be fair, even when you go to butchers now, the cuts that they use in the UK now are completely different to what they used like 70 years ago. Not completely, but quite different. I've got a friend who's an amazing butcher. He does some really good stuff. I'd love to talk to him quite soon and see if we can sort something out and just talk a little bit about the background of, he treats his animals amazingly well, but to talk about the background, different cuts and stuff like that as well is an idea. Okay. Okay, so Lizzie's saying the Arcadians were French, right? I don't know about that. Pickled egg. Suzanne, I think that pickled... I can't talk. I've lost the ability to talk again already. Suzanne, I think that before, you get any older, you should try a pickled egg because they're really nice. What you want to do is get a pickled egg from fresh like pack, not from the fish and chip shop. Not that they're bad from the fish and chip shop, but I want you to try one in perfect condition. Cut it in half. Cut it in half, cut it into quarters, salt and pepper, lots of it, and it's amazing. Deviled eggs are really nice, Chris, yeah, with curry powder, and all sorts on as well. So, yeah, they're really good. Has anyone got any questions at all? Yeah, deviled eggs were really popular in the UK in the 1970s. My mum still makes them, but I love them. A few different ways to do them as well. Yeah, pickled quail's eggs. Quail's eggs are pretty... Actually, to be honest with you, Chris, quail's eggs at Christmas are very popular in the UK. Very popular in most of the shops. You can find quail's eggs at Christmas. The rest of the year, not so much. You can get them at butchers, but people tend to boil them up and serve them with salt and pepper and dip them. Never tried a pickled one though. That's an idea. Okay, let's just wander over now that curry's had a little bit of time to sit and see what it's actually looking like. So this is the sort of thing we're talking about. Does that look good? Absolutely delicious. You can see the fennel seeds in there. You can see it's all been fried, all the spices, got cinnamon there as well. Can everyone see me? It just flashed up again, the connection's gone. I'm sorry to keep asking, but are you still there? Because it keeps flashing as I've gone when I come over to this side of the kitchen for some reason. I wish you could smell this, it's fantastic. Awesome. Very bad connection. Okay. Okay, I keep losing the connection, so what I'm going to do is say thank you so much for coming this evening. I've had some great chats with you all, and I really appreciate you all turning up. It's really kind of you. And as I keep saying, it means an awful lot to me on a personal level, so thank you so much for that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to basically... I'm going to basically do... Sorry, something just popped up. I'm going to basically get back into the cooking and practice my angles on the cameras and practicing as well. Yeah, please, Lizzie, check out the group, and as I said, feel free to add me. I said that to everyone here. I think most people in here either know me or have added me on the last stream, so that's great. But thank you so much for coming, and I really, really appreciate it. It's been really good fun. It's my first time ever cooking, trying to cook and live chat. Both are very new to me. So yeah, really, really appreciate it. Pam, you're still here. Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Pam. I really appreciate you coming. So it's been, excuse me, I've lost the ability to talk. It always happens. I need to be aware of this, that I lose the ability to talk after about an hour or so. Thank you, Sue. Lovely to see you as well. And Lizzie, that's really, really kind of you. And if anyone else is still here, thank you so much. It's been really nice to have you. All right. So hopefully I'll have the naan breads for you quite soon, and also the talk about the double and triple fried. But this week it's going to be about the British fry up. So enjoy that. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.